present moment is a fragile illusion. Only eternity can bring us closer to the heavenly principles. I am no longer the shadow. Mine is the most supreme and noble form. Let power over the realm be vested within me. In this form shall I honor my subjects' dream, for a land of eternity, unchanging forevermore.
When the Shogun says this, you have to realize that among the Archons, she is by far the closest to transcending all the way to becoming like the powerful, detached heavenly principles.
The character XP material, Hero's Wit, mentions a pilgrim traveling all over Taiva in order to be closer to Celestia.
Come on, you ready?
The pilgrim in question is quite clearly the MC. So you see, Aether and Raiden A are trying to resonate with the present ruler of the world. Signora, on the other hand, was a Suritsa wannabe. She was written as a cautionary tale of what happens when you set your ambitions too low. I mean, trying to emulate an Archon. And people honestly thought she was going to make a deep run in this story.
At last,
And when we dive deeper into the character of Rosaline, we realize she was always a local rookie, content with keeping her aspirations low.
Mondstadt calls this
Indeed, she was on track to receive a mid 2-2 from the Sumeru Academia's Bantamad division, until she dropped out, claiming a cataclysm had struck her hometown. Compare her to the in-game playable character, Lisa, who is said to have been the most talented sorceress to study at the Sumeru Academia in the last 2 centuries. Now let's watch as Venti, a shard of Istaroth, calls her out for serving a master so low on this realm's cosmic ladder.
Looks out of place. Did you steal it from your master's face?
Now before you try and rebut this argument, with Lisa's total lack of ambition at present, we'd like to kindly enlighten you as to the nature of Lisa's arc. It is similar to the likes of Fern in that she clearly spent her lifetime supply of ambition early,
has arrived.
uncovering the secrets of this
Exceed
world
my
to become the witch of purple
The sight of
rose.
my mana has frozen her in place. She's no different from the rest of them.
She received an offer
Hold
from an
on.
elite group,
Tell me,
the Hexen Circle.
what is it you see?
But crucially, unlike Signora, she turns it down, refusing to glaze Alice like Rosalind did the Cryo Archon. Now there's a common misconception going around that Signora was the best and most efficient Harbinger, because she managed to get 2 nosies and was supposedly on track to getting a 3rd. The reality is, any Harbinger barring Capitano, because of his lawful good alignment, could have gotten the Animo Gnosis. It was a simple hit and run. Arlecchino tried jumping Farina for the Hydrognosis in Fontaine, with a much cleaner solo assassination too, but unfortunately for her it was heavily story-locked and not some free prologue
friends
lead drop.
arrive. Leave nothing for them to find.
The situation in Liyue is even more baffling. For some reason people think she did something there, when she was just the Cryo Archon's Deliveroo driver. The Tsaritsa did all the work with the contract. Child literally did more for the Geonosis, using the sigils of permission to reawaken Ozil, who then posed the nation-ending threat needed to fulfill the contract.
That which thou seeketh is now bestowed
Again, La
unto
Signora
thee.
can be summed up in one
For
word.
my promise
Replaceable.
is solid as
Any
stone.
Harbinger barring child could have claimed this Gnosis. You know what? Just extend that to any Fatius. Katarina could have played her role.
How sanctimonious.
So was it really a surprise when she was completely out of her depth in Inazuma? As a platform, we think those who believe her character was assassinated here have a poor grasp of Rosalind Krushka Aloha Falter as a character.
Have you learned your lesson now?
Picture what's going through the MC's mind right now. They see Kujo Sara knocked unconscious, just like they were at the end of the Mondstadt prologue, by the same violent Machiavellian monster, La Signora. Common assault and battery carries a maximum sentence of 6 months in prison, according to Section 29 of the 1988 Criminal Justice Act, which she deserves as a repeated perpetrator. Ether hasn't received justice, and she's not even taking them seriously. That's why he hates her. Okay? He's not a murderous hobo, dueling her on behalf of his fake friends brackets. Venti.
I'm just a Snezhnayan diplomat. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
She doesn't take us seriously at all!
Stop talking about people and things that I care nothing about. They were nobodies to begin with, and their names will be forgotten.
The irony is, La Signora is the biggest nobody in Hoyoverse. Her weekly boss drop, Hellfire Butterfly, reads the seal of ice was broken under duress, and as her former will surged forth from its pale white prison, she remembered her old name once more. As you can see, the cryo-delusion suppressed her identity as Rosaline. What does that leave? A psycho, nobody pretending to be the Tsaritsa. For any of you that heard truth in these words, we'd like to refer you to Kant's categorical imperative, which states that an action is only morally permissible if it can be universalized, without causing a contradiction. If everyone were Machiavellian, willing to sacrifice anything to achieve their goals, a contradiction arises, because the effectiveness of Machiavellianism depends on others not being Machiavellian. Therefore, both her and her master's actions will always be morally reprehensible. So, in the most intense moment in the traveler's entire journey, they find themselves a criminal in the palace of the closest entity to the heavenly principles, being taunted by their former assaulter. They had come to the palace to inform the Shogun of Fatui's meddling, but it turned out that the Shogun had always been aware of it. There was only one way out.
To a duel before the throne!
Proceed.
Signora Mains do seem to have a solid grounding in what comes next.
So you've learned to make the law of the land work for you too. I'll admit that I never expected to be in a situation where the two of us were on equal footing. You are aware.
She tries an intimidation check on the MC, because she doesn't want to risk her honor mode playthrough, starting a fight without surprising her enemies. However, the traveler sees right through the impotent jobber, and the one for one ensues. If it were Lisa, he probably would have just ran out and been hacked down by the Shogun, bleeding and crying on the concrete floor of Tenshikaku.
As you wish.
Anyway, told her she's a fraud, and she got what she deserved. Now watch my Sejuan cook this song for 20 primos as an outro. I would add more voice lines here, but I have to wait 24 hours for my Ruin Me voice clone credits to refresh. That's why you're getting TikTok special effects instead. Let's face it, she should have been a singer. Why did she waste 3 years at the Sumeru Academia? Should have gone to Star Road Entertainment.
I respect your opinion.
By the way, reading those Signora is the Pyro-Sovereign theories. Honestly, those theory crafters must have brain rot from watching too much Kaisnet. Okay, just get the fuck out. We're done here.